Well, honestly, that is a pretty nice sunrise, although I have learned very quickly that if you stare at the sun for too long, you are just staring at the sun. Right, so we have a very significant task today, and that is we need a rover. Now, I contemplated remote control rover, because that is a thing that I can do, but I would need to actually have a base station over here, and if I found any cobalt with the rover, I would have to go out to get it anyways. So this is going to be a manned rover, because if I'm there, I might as well have transport back and forth. It'll be better off than just running so much. And honestly, I kind of need a cargo rover of some kind anyways to deal with the mine over there. So we're gonna try and actually build a vehicle that can actually drive through the Arctic tundra, bearing in mind I will not be the first person who's ever attempted to do this, but I might be among the first that succeeds. So there is that. So do I have any steel plates in my inventory currently? No, I don't, so I cannot place anything. But fortunately, I did do a little bit of a grind. Just a little bit. So that's a start. Let's make another 10, because I'm going to need a lot of these. So many of these, in fact. Okay. So yeah, I got up early. I went to bed late, so I should hopefully have enough in the way of resources to get this started at the very least. I don't know in the slightest bit how to do this, but I'm gonna try at the very least. So we're gonna need cockpits on top of this. I know that much. And well, this is gonna be a lot of grinding here, so I guess I'm just gonna skip about and see how I do. At the very least, I have a lot of iron stockpiled in here, so I shouldn't have to go mining very much. We'll find out.
Energy low.
Well, it finally happened. I still have to get more iron. Still, this is coming along pretty nicely. It has occurred to me, though, that I am more or less building the Arctic equivalent of a transit van. Which really probably shouldn't surprise me as much as it does. But it's coming along quite nice, I think. I think that's doing well so far. Just gotta make sure it's got all the wheels and all the structural integrity it's going to need. Oh boy. Well, I've already started stripping down my old boxes over by the quarry, so I guess now is probably the decent time to start taking out this ore detector that is currently not doing us any good anyways, and has a ton of components in it that are very useful for continuing this little project. So, Bye bye. And yeah, I've just gone all in on the transit van approach here, so storage up the wazoo. Just about finished on the axles here, and I think this is pretty much ready to go, but on the other hand, I also don't want to be driving off into the wilderness with something that may, non-0% chance, fall apart at any moment, so I'm going to do a little bit of mostly beautification, but this thing needs a bit more structural like integrity to it. So, a little bit of beauty work going in for it. Okay, right. Well, that's pretty dang close. Nonetheless, this thing has a ton of storage. It's going to be very handy on the road. So if we go out, we have we have an ore detector over here that will highlight, hopefully, anything within about 15 meters. It's not very big. And then we have an antenna so that I will know where it is even if I get out of the vehicle. And if I do find cobalt, we have a heck ton of storage so I can mine some stuff. And it is solar powered, so it shouldn't have too... Well, it's here, so it won't have some trouble, but it shouldn't have too much trouble, is the main point. And it's looking kinda spiffy. All it really needs is a paint job, I think. So I just need to set up that the front and rear wheels have steering, and the middle wheels only have propulsion, and then that should allow this thing to be fairly nimble. I am going to limit it to a fairly low speed, though, because... Well, this ain't exactly like the Le Mans. This isn't exactly like the Nürburgring. This is very off-road, so slow and steady wins here, I think. But anyways, let's christen it a little bit by getting rid of this landing gear. And there you go, laddie. What are we gonna call this thing then? This is definitely a big boofer. The ATV, the Arctic no wait, hang on, that's a different thing entirely. The Trans-Arctic vehicle? The Recon Rover? I don't know. Like, insert your own ideas in, like, the comments, I guess, of this particular documentation. But, just gonna finish up this. Just need to set a display and some interior plate, and we will be good to go. Well, there she is, and for the time being, she has been christened the Recon Rover. We'll find out if she gets named anything a bit more, dramatic later on. There is Sycamore 1. Here is our current base station, which will hopefully not be coated in snow by the time I get back. But I think we can take this thing for a ride. So, it is at this point that I mention very swiftly that I don't actually have my driving license in any fashion, so I'm going to be dialing this down quite tremendously, say to about 55 kilometers per hour, just so that I don't cause any trouble in this thing, because I need it to be very heavily intact in order to get everything done. It is nice, however, to have a mobile form of storage and a mobile form of recharging my suit, but, well, let's pick our destination, I guess. Down here towards the valley makes the most sense to me. And there is data storage on the Recon Rover, so I should be able to continue broadcasting my reports, but that's going to be via bouncing it off of the base station, so, just gotta keep driving until we spot something that looks like cobalt, basically. And I have dialed the ore detector up to max. Max is still at, however, only about 50 meters. But, yeah, we're detecting a lot of ice. That's not terribly surprising, though. And, this is where I wish I had brought... Whoa, that's an interesting little rock field. This is where I wish I'd brought, like, some road trip songs, and this is a bad place to be, even with this thing. Oh, I'm definitely losing parts here. I'm kicking up some kind of dirt. Okay. Let's just plunk your brakes on, shall we? And, see if I didn't just cause some trouble for you. You seem okay. I don't think we lost anything. Control panel's not registering anything broken or missing. But we do only have, like, 3 batteries in here. So we need to be cautious with our, well, firstly, we need to be cautious because we only have 3 small batteries. Secondly, those 3 batteries are under that cargo container. So they might have some trouble if we're not careful. And that's all the more reason for me to ensure that we have plenty of control over our velocity. Honestly, even this might be pushing it. But it's going to take me a very merry long while before we find anything, I think. Again, plenty of ice. Plenty of ice. We need cobalt. So, I'm probably going to be spending a few nights inside of this thing. And I will hopefully be able to speak to you guys when I have found something more substantial. But we'll see how long that takes me. So here we are, 6.69 kilometers away from our base station, and the Recon Rover is currently out of power. This side of the area is the flattest and the most useful for mining, but it's also heavily sheltered from the sun. So, looks like I am definitely spending the night out here, and thankfully it does still have enough power in it to recharge my suit, and it's decently climate controlled in there, actually. Yeah, looks like I'm waiting out here. We have passed over some nickel and some iron deposits, but we haven't managed to find any kind of cobalt just yet. But, this is the end of my day here, so I will see you all with the next one, and hopefully we can recharge a little bit. I would say overnight, but in the twilights, I guess, of here on the southernmost pole. Catch you next time, everybody.